That beat is fire.
Beats Planet.
Yo, there we go. What's happening, y'all? All right. I probably should have been focused. But we had a lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving parts. I was trying to do there's this function on YouTube now where the shit kind of lets you, hey, when they watch your premiere or whatever, it automatically directs them to the live stream or whatnot. So I was trying to see how that works. Then I was just on the phone with my brother or whatever. We was talking about some other little shit. So we got some things to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we good. We good. Y'all just gotta wait for a second. Y'all just gotta wait a minute. It's coming. The sound's coming. You're fine. a couple things I want to talk about today. Couple things, yo. So, son, I went to the veterinarian today, right, to take my little baby to the veterinarian, and my little cat Evie. I've had her since New Year, so we're about a month in now. It's not an anniversary because anniversaries are like annual. You know what I mean? So there's no 1 month anniversary. There's not even a 1 year anniversary. It's like the inaugural year of me and Evie or whatever. But yeah, so I thought, so like, okay, this is my girl cat. And the lady, when she walked to the window, because there's social distancing and things, is the cat a girl, boy? Like, it's a girl. And I take it in and somebody come back and I was like, hey man, we think your cat's a boy. And I was like, huh? And I panicked and I didn't know what to do today. And I was like, man, I got to pick a new name for you. I got to talk to you. You can't call your boy cat Lil Ma. You know what I'm saying? You got to call him some hard shit, some manly shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Lil Bruh or something. You know what I mean? It turns out that the vets were just idiots and my cat was a girl the whole time. And I'm not even a certified vet. And I know more information about my damn cat than they did. Anyway, I want to get that story out because I tweeted about it and I put it on the community page, and I just wanted to run that by y'all before there was any confusion. We are going to talk about some draft today. A couple things I wanted to get into. If you I'm setting the phones up. The phones are set up. They're good to go. So if there was anybody that wanted to get in on the Matthew Stafford talk, but you didn't get a chance to get in on the other live stream, today is your time. Today is your time to get in on the Matt Stafford talk, because it's the last time I'm gonna talk about it. We're gonna get into the topic that we saw on the thumbnail and the title. We're gonna get into those, and you know we can just do the back and forth Q&A thing, man. Y'all know how we boogie, man. You know the show has a title, but if y'all want to talk about whatever you want to talk about, then we just gonna boogie. You know what I'm saying? Boogie. You know what I'm saying? I don't have faith in EA Sports when it comes to making a new NCAA game. I just don't have faith in them. EA Sports haven't done a good job with any game in a while, not even a sports game. I know we're excited to get NCAA back, but I don't have faith in them people, man. Nobody's excited about that. Nobody's excited about that. Moving that out the way. All right, now here we go. Now we ready to go. I was small talking before we got ready. So Richie Grant is my safety one. All right. And of course that's not set in stone. We don't do rankings until April. And, you know, I know people get impatient sometimes. They be like, yo, Voch, why we got to wait all the way till April to get your rankings? Well, the same way that Richie Grant came into greatness in my life, that could possibly happen again. You know, when you watch Trevon Moehrig, he was safety one until I saw more Ardarius. And I was like, okay, cool, he's safety one. Until I saw, Richie Grant. And I'm like, okay, fine, he's safety one. You know what I'm saying? So the more film you watch, the more conclusions that you come to when it comes to these things, you know what I mean? And I feel like I watched Richie Grant a couple of weeks ago, and then he had the big Senior Bowl, and then the hype came along with it. So I feel like now is a good time to drop my Richie Grant film session that I've been working on since January. But with hype, you push things out a little quicker. I tell Coach Evans all the time. I tell Lieutenant Dan, when the grease is hot, you drop the fish. You know what I'm saying? Richie Grant film ain't even got on Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel about Richie Grant. So that's one for the YouTube. If y'all want to see anything else, you've got to get on the Patreon to see those, and everything else we'll just kind of hit it, every now and then. The big topic I wanted to hit on, and it's kind of working in tandem with the. Okay. They work in tandem with each other. Thinking about the Matthew Stafford trade, I've run across a lot of different Rams fans just to get their takes and their ideas on the trade or whatever. And it's interesting because when you get into the my team did this, you start to double talk yourself. You start to like make different excuses, right? When I be like, yo, I wouldn't dare want to give up those kind of picks. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't dare want to, give up picks and da. If you listen to a Rams fan long enough, they'll have you saying things like, well, see, we only paid the first round pick and a third for Matt Stafford, but we gave up the other first rounder to take the Jared Goff money. And that sounds goofy. You don't decide what they do with the picks or how they allocate the picks. You just lost the picks. You see what I'm saying? So the Rams are just continuing to give those picks away. And that turned into this discussion, which kind of made me mad a little bit, right? And I've heard Seahawks fans say the same thing when it comes to the Jamal Adams trade that, I mean, shouts out to them, but I don't even think that it worked out for real on that level. I think the Seahawks probably would have been just fine without him this year. But they'll try to make that little argument and they'll be like, yeah, man, it's a late first round pick. So my logic is, those dudes aren't going to be great anyway. You know what I mean? Or draft is just, these dudes are just lottery picks. We're just throwing darts at a board anyway, hoping something sticks. I think that's bullshit. And this is why I think that's bullshit, right? Because I look at the players that I like, right? Like, think about what the underground draft community for the most part consists of, right? Like it's a lot of people that may disagree, back and forth here or there, but for the most part, we still have a general idea about who we like and who we don't like. For example, last year, like we heard some reports that teams in the league really liked AJ Terrell, the Clemson corner. They really liked him as a first round pick. But nobody in the underground community really respected that shit. You know what I mean? Like, we were on other guys. So we may disagree as an underground community, but we still have a general idea of what's right and what's wrong. The league will still do shit that's wrong. Like take Jordan Love late first or something, or drafting what's my man? Jordan Brooks from Texas Tech, first round. Seattle, I'm talking straight to you. So when I see the Seattle Seahawks fans and the Rams fans, when they say things like, oh, these late first round guys, they're lottery picks, they aren't very good, I call it BS. You just don't draft well. You see what I'm saying? Because if I look at my draft record, like, just if I look at the players I like opposed to the players that I disliked, if I was in the driver's seat, my team would be pretty damn crazy right now. I'm just like with Pat Mahomes as my quarterback one with, me, I could draft Justin Jefferson for him. You know what I mean? I could draft CeeDee Lamb for him. I could just put this compilation of picks that I kind of hit on, and I don't want to be told you so guy or nothing like that. But if I started to compile the picks that I hit on, my team would look pretty damn good, right? Then you look at what teams draft well, right? How come the Ravens, for the most part, get pretty good success from their drafts or whatever? The Cowboys draft pretty good. The Vikings, in my opinion, draft pretty well. You know what I'm saying? So how come is it that when those teams draft, or when me in the underground community, when we pick our guys, how come we're right a lot of the times, but you look at Green Bay's draft, and I can't name not one guy that did anything worth a damn for them this year. You see what I'm saying? So it really depends, base by base. And I don't mean a situation like, if you're the Browns, you got the first overall pick and Myles Garrett is there, you take him. It doesn't require a lot of thought to take Myles Garrett at number one. You don't judge a team by what they do with their early picks. You judge Cleveland by, but y'all still took David Njoku and Jabril Peppers in the first round. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And I see a comment from Juke in the chat box. The Rams do draft well. I agree. The Rams do pretty much get it right in day 2 and parts of day 3. How much more better would they get if they just kept the picks? You know what I mean? And this will lean back into the Stafford conversation. You could just work these two convos back and forth here. So is your problem Jared Goff's not good enough? Or is the team and formula around Jared Goff not good enough. You see what I'm saying? I think when we get into these conversations or whatever, and shouts out to the Rams for being ballsy and shooting dice and giving us something to talk about. But when it comes down to quarterback play, and I said this on Yahoo this morning, it's gonna drop tomorrow, but I'm saying it here so y'all getting the first exclusive. So when it comes to selecting quarterback, it's not just, trying to get the better guy, because it's a lot more that goes into it than just trying to get the better guy. In my mind, and look, I love to do this with Cowboy fans, right? I'd be like, okay, cool. Come up with like Cowboy fans that hate Dak in particular, come up with a criteria. First of all, name how many quarterbacks better than Dak Prescott. And they'll be hating and name like 10 people or whatever. I'd be like, all right, cool. Name the criteria in which Dak isn't good enough. And then name this and name this and name this. And you may hear him say something like deep ball. You'll hear him say something like winning in the playoffs. You'll hear him say something goofy like rankings or why can't we beat winning teams. And if you actually crunch into it, how many quarterbacks actually have a better record against winning teams, how many quarterbacks threw better deep, how many quarterbacks do this and that or whatever, then you'll realize that Dak is way more top 5 than you think he is. You see what I'm saying? So now you got to bring that back to your conversation. Are you in this constant battle to try to find the better quarterback or a better situation for the guy that you have? You see what I'm saying? You're not going to find many quarterbacks better than my floor is like Deshaun Watson. Okay. And if you listen to a team looking for a quarterback, they all want Deshaun Watsons. They want Dak Prescott's. They want Pat Mahomes's. How many quarterbacks are better than them? I think the top 7 is pretty much set in stone in terms of quarterbacking. And it's all going to tie back in the draft. Y'all just hang with me. It's all going to tie back into quarterbacking. So if you're the Rams, should your philosophy be to get a better quarterback or to build a better situation? You know how to win with Jared Goff. Hell, the Rams won a lot of games this year. The Rams went to the playoffs. The Rams went to a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. It just happened that this team wasn't better than that Super Bowl team with Jared Goff. Let me explain this situation, right? Jefferson had a quarterback all season. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you talking about Jefferson City Lamb. All right, cool. So I use this example today, right? I was talking about the Minnesota Vikings. Remember when the Minnesota Vikings went to the one before the championship game or whatever with Case Keenum? They went far with Case Keenum or whatever. So in their mind, they was like, yo, snap, we went this far with Case Keenum. If we simply improve at quarterback from Case Keenum, then dog, we're going to win the Super Bowl with whoever that quarterback is better than Case Keenum. The logic makes sense. It adds up. So they say, cool, I'm about to take Kirk Cousins because he's better than Case Keenum. Kirk Cousins is cool, and, there are some Vikings fans that's going to have gripes about him, but Kirk Cousins is better than Case Keenum. But Kirk Cousins hasn't done better than Case Keenum because at the end of the day, he's still Kirk Cousins. You see what I'm saying? That formula is not going to work out the same that it did with him because football math doesn't exist. Chat box, let me know if you feel what I'm saying to you. So if you're the Rams and you have Jared Goff and you go to a Super Bowl with Jared Goff, then you give Jared Goff a team that's less talented than that Super Bowl team with Jared Goff, you can't be mad that Jared Goff isn't as good as he once was. You see what I'm saying? You can't be mad. Cool. The phone set up, by the way. If y'all want to call into the show, the number is 515-606-5187. Access code 309-104. Get in line right now. This won't be a long show. You can't expect you can't give Jared Goff a less team and expect Jared Goff to take you further in the playoffs. That ain't how this works. Even if you have a guy like Pat Mahomes, you can be good, but you still have to, acquire Frank Clark. You still have to acquire Sammy Watkins. You still have to acquire Honey Badger. If you take away 3 of Pat's best or 3 of the Chiefs' best defenders, you take away Tyreek Hill, you take away but you still got Pat Mahomes. It's not going to look the same. It's simply not going to look the same, which is probably why the damn Packers don't really advance further than what they are. You see what I'm saying? I see a comment from Routful. He says Jared Goff's not good. He's a Super Bowl quarterback. Just like Jimmy Garoppolo's not good, but he's a Super Bowl quarterback. You see what I'm saying? You just got to figure out what formula works. So you could have Jared Goff, who is a quarterback with a working formula that you know of, or you can have Matt Stafford, who's never won a playoff game. What's his formula? Somebody in the chat box, please. What is Matthew Stafford's formula for winning? Because if you show up saying, hey, I'm Matthew Stafford, I'm just going to be better than Jared Goff, and we'll just see what's going to happen, that's not going to be enough. That's simply not going to be enough because football math does not work in that way. Y'all see what I'm saying? It simply doesn't work that way. So it comes back down to this, because this is a draft show. Are first round picks important or are they not? You know, there are a handful of teams that'll be like, yo, you overrate the shit out of first round picks. I disagree. You know, they were like, okay, well, Voch, what about the idea that I could take these first round picks and get Jalen Ramsey? You mean what two players that you can draft in the 20s that's going to be better than Jalen Ramsey? Chat box, I'll ask you a question. If you do this properly, right? Let's just hypothetical. You can easily say, yeah, Jalen Ramsey better than Taco Charlton and insert scrub name. But what if you draft properly, right? What if you draft properly? So now I ask you this, chat box. What's more important? Expensive Jalen Ramsey or cheap TJ Watt and Byron Jones? That's what I'm saying. Another thing, any good player that's in the second round, I don't know if y'all knew this, but they're available in the first round also, right? So Terry McLaurin could fall to the third, but that's the league's fault. Terry McLaurin could have been a late first round pick if you allow him to be. You know? So if you're even watch this, right? You can use those picks to make Matthew Stafford better. What if you just use those picks to continue to evolve the Rams defense? The Rams defense was good, but you may have been like a linebacker missing. Well, cool. Darius Leonard was a second round pick, you know? You may need, the Rams defense with Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald look totally different. So imagine like, hey, okay, let me get like Marvin Jones to go along with Aaron Donald to see what happens. You see what I'm saying? You pigeonhole yourself and you get rid of your options when you know what I'm saying? When you make moves in that way. So I'm saying this to say to Rams fans or Seahawks fans or anybody that's ever come on to my show and they call first round picks not so important. Your team probably just don't draft that well. There aren't many Cowboy fans walking around saying, I don't want my first round pick. Even if we draft in the 20s, it ain't many. And look, there are some goofy Cowboy fans that'll say anything. But teams that draft well, for the most part, first round picks are way more valuable to us than they are to you. And the Rams can draft. I don't even understand. I think the Rams would be fine if they just continue. Like when they were at their best, when like Aaron Donald and like Todd Gurley were their best players, those were dudes that they drafted and that they got for cheap for a bunch of years. I don't know. That just happened when you missed the window, man. Let's get into it, man. We got phones lined up, and I got some other little topics that we can get into if y'all don't take me in a certain direction. But we can boogie, man. We can boogie. We got Joe Sandberg up first, man. Let's see what he's talking about. What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man, you ain't got to scream at me, man. What's good with you, bro? You know what, bro? You know what, Joe Sandberg? I appreciate the negative influence that I've had on your life because I feel like prior to you watching my channel, you weren't referring to things as goofy ass little insert whatever it is that we're talking about. You know, like we talking about like draft picks or whatever. Like you never would have said the word goofy ass draft pick if I didn't influence you negatively. So I greatly apologize, Joe Sandberg.
It's all good.
Anyway,
because I think we all actually end up teaching each other something.
Yeah, fair enough, Joe. What you got for the show?
But really, this notion of this Jared Goff and Matt Stafford thing is, why not just keep Goff, improve at offensive line, and put some other pieces on your defense?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Well, but this idea of first round picks don't matter. I actually got a list a little mini list of guys that were actually late first-round picks.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson.
Sure.
T.J. Watt.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Ramczyk.
Oh. Yeah.
Tre'Davious White.
Mm-hmm.
Byron Jones. Travis Frederick, and DeAndre Hopkins.
Sure.
So some teams don't want them.
Justin Jefferson. Shit. Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
Yeah. Hold your team accountable. Hold your team accountable and say they can't draft. Like if you have a GM that says first round picks aren't valuable to me, then you need a new GM. You need a new GM, you know?
Yeah, there's guys there. You just have to open up your eyes and use them correctly.
Right. What else you got?
But overall, I just find this Matthew Stafford thing really weird.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Especially you throw in the fact that I've had Matthew Stafford on my fantasy football team for a few years. It goes out a decent bit.
Sure.
So what you end up doing is you end up picking in the top 10.
You know, we'll see what happens. I don't think that they're going to be like terrible or anything like that. I do think the Rams are going to be good. I just think that they have the value of their draft picks all the way messed up. I don't know, Brother Joe. We're going to cross that road whenever we get there, man. I got some callers. I thank you so much for calling in. Be safe, man. Hold me down out here in these streets, man. Salute.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for the call. Oh.
Yes, sir. Joe holds me down in the streets. Nick Gasher, don't go nowhere. Let's go to Brandon from Franklin Football first. Then we're going to go to Nick Gasher. What's up, Brandon?
Bacho, how you doing, my brother?
Cool, my guy. Everything. Doski Woski is free. What's happening?
There we go. So I see things this way, and this is kind of like the only thing that I'm going to say on like the whole Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff thing.
Yes, sir.
Matthew Stafford has done less in his career with the greatest receiver of the 2010 decade, possibly of this generation, and an elite defense for a 6-year stretch. He's done less than Jared Goff did in his first 4 years.
I'm listening, sir.
So I'm agree with you 100%. A team that has a scouting department, maybe an analytics director and a general manager should not discount the value of a draft pick because that is the entirety of their job.
Right.
That means that they don't know how to do their job.
Right.
The way I see things, yeah, draft picks are kind of lottery picks. But why you gonna throw the ticket out before you scratch it?
Wait a minute, hold on, I gotta hit. Wait. Oh. Okay, sir, go ahead. At least scratch them off first. Okay, go ahead.
Exactly. Let me fail because for every Jamarcus Russell, you got a Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
You know, so at least take the chance. You know, giving up before the draft game even begins. That's pathetic in my eyes, man. And I think that's why somebody like Will McClay does their job so well. And I kind of wanted to throw a team like the Dolphins or the Jaguars in there, but they haven't found true success with that yet. But they're willing to play the game, so they get an applause from me.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So yeah, man, I think, and you know what this is? It's coping for real. That's a coping mechanism by just discounting the value of picks.
Yes.
Because I guarantee you, if they would have had them picks come draft time, they would have had their popcorn ready sitting on their couch.
Mm-hmm.
But because they don't have them, they got to say, we didn't want them anyway. Mm-hmm. It's like the person that get broke up with, but then say, I ain't really like her anyway. That's what that is.
Yes, sir.
They're the ex-girlfriend that broke up with them.
Damn,
that's all that is, man.
Fair enough, sir. Let me ask you a question, sir. Did you see my Richie Grant film session that I dropped 30-some-odd minutes ago?
I haven't watched it yet because I have a girlfriend who's addicted to going to Target. So that was my plan for the night.
So she would rather spend money than make money? What in tarnation is that?
Man, Target is, I think, the woman's version of draft film for me.
Oh, okay. Well, I've confirmed Richie Grant is my safety one. I've gone ahead and jumped out that window, and said it. Now if somebody changes my mind between now and April, I always say we got plenty of time to figure this thing out. But as of now, Richie Grant's my safety one guy.
I disagree. I think that Darius Washington does the safety things better than Richie Grant. I don't see Darius Washington getting tricked on some misdirection. I've seen that from Richie Grant. Darius Washington's weakness is that he is a 6'2".
Which game does that happen? Because I've heard that from multiple people that I trust. You, an Anime Dog fan, I trust both of y'all. But tell me what game you saw this in. You saw this misdirection in, so I can go see it and just look. I trust your eyes, but I just want to see myself, sir.
I got to go get my notebook.
Well, no. You need to know this, Brandon. You need to know this, Brandon. You need to know this.
Whoa. It's not about knowing it off of the top of your head. It's about knowing where to get the information.
That's a lie. I know a lot of things off the top of my head. I do most of these shows off the top of my head, sir. I need you to know these things.
Hey, man, I'm a believer in notes. And I've seen you get your notebook. I've seen you get your notebook out.
I'm not gonna have that mug in April. I'm not gonna have that mug when it matters.
Hey, man.
That's after I just watched film for like 5. That's after I just watched film for like 5 minutes. I ain't got no notepad now, sir. Come on now.
Hey, say what you want. I'm a firm believer in notes, but I'll say this: Darius Washington does all of the things that Richie Grant does, and does some things better at 3 or 4 inches shorter.
I think Richie's smarter.
You think he's smart? I don't think so. Well, hold on, because this is the conversation. What is the difference between IQ and instinct?
Oh, I broke it down in the video, Brandon. You wasn't there. You wasn't there. My conclusion.
That's how you know we're on the same wavelength.
My conclusion for anybody that's watching this but hasn't seen my film session. First of all, you're wrong and you're backwards and you're out of sequence. But what I ended up coming up with, though, Rich, is that instincts you feel. IQ is something that you see. You see what I'm saying? Like if I feel a certain thing coming, like if I feel a screen coming in my direction, then I naturally flow to the screen. We see that all the time. It's some shit that can't be explained. Yeah. Like instincts are not tangible at all. IQ plays are more so if it's a 3x1, trips to one side. I got 2 corners over there. I'm over the third guy. I'm on the hashes. It's about 30 yards to the end zone. They probably going to throw the seams my way. Let me jump the seams because 9 times out of 10, you throw seams in this situation. You see, that's an IQ play.
Okay. So what you're saying is your IQ, you're thinking. You're thinking. You trust your thoughts. You trust your eyes. So does that not mean that a player with high IQ and lower instincts could potentially get beat on a misdirection, and a player with instincts may not?
I don't disagree with that. I just got to see the plays where you talking about Richie, and it must have been in one damn play because look, Anime Dog fan. Shouts out to Anime Dog fan.
It was one game where it showed up prevalently.
Well, you need to go to your notepad and let me know that game so I can go find it. Anime Dog fan.
I'm gonna text you about it later.
Anime Dolphin told me the same thing you said. So what I did was I went to my little lab or whatever, and I just grinded. I grinded Richie Grant film. I watched about 9, and I never watched 9 games. Brandon, I don't watch 9 games, sir. But I got obsessed. I needed to see some of this misdirection y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna get it.
Please.
I'm gonna text you about it later on.
I beg of you, and I'm gonna watch it. And whatever conclusion I come up with, it's gonna end up being he only got misdirected on one game. He doesn't have a pattern of being misdirected, sir. There are some games where Darius Washington get picked on, but it don't happen every play. So I don't say that Darius Washington get picked on every play.
Well, I think that the people that try it are gonna pay for it because they gonna think, oh, we could pick on the little guy. But then he gonna jump up on him like he's 6'2".
Until we get in the red zone and he got to cover Kyle Rudolph or something. And Kyle Rudolph get 3 touchdowns in that game in the red zone. I don't know.
I need to see that happen before I lose faith in it.
I'm not talking about short ass Jordan Lewis or nothing, but who's a better cover guy? Who's a better cover guy than Ardarius? I'm just saying.
Yo, why is it that little itty bitty dudes play like they got a chip on their shoulder?
Because they got chips on their shoulder. Asante Samuel the same way. He's not
Exactly.
he's not a nickel guy, and people keep trying to make him a nickel guy because he's small. He's an outside corner. He's just small.
Exactly. And you know what not the bad thing, but the wild thing is, Asante Samuel is like my corner 4, maybe 5.
Sure.
Matter of fact, I'll say 5.
Sure. I don't hate it.
And maybe I just like the little guy. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't hate it, my guy.
Oh.
Any closing thoughts before I hang up on you and go to Nick Gash?
If you like this little exchange that me and Voch had, my channel is Franklin Football. I'm going to put that link in the chat box in just a second. Go there, subscribe, like my videos if you do, and you'll hear more conversation like this.
All right, there you go, man. Brandon from Franklin Football, man. Salute. One half of Franklin Football with Set It Off Chris. Appreciate it. And get the hell out of my phone. He going to put it in the chat box. Y'all go check him out. Who I say? I say Nick Gash. Here we go. Nick Gash, what's happening?
Ross Lombardi, what's going on?
Have you seen my Richie Grant film session?
So here's the thing. I was lifting, and then I got home, and I saw that you had it out. And then I saw your live stream because I was driving home. And then I saw
you was driving.
So what I'm gonna do?
You were driving, Nick. Wait a goddamn minute. When you started doing that? When this happened?
I've been driving for like a year and a half, Voch. What do you mean?
Boy, they just grow up
I'm
and just
17
just forget where they come from. Oh, the good old Voch Lombardi, just whatever. I'm gonna go drive and go holler at one of my whoop-de-woos because I drive now. I ain't gotta check in with Voch no more. I get it, Nick. What the hell you want, man? Go ahead and finish your point. Go ahead, I'm listening. Hurry up.
Anywho, I'm gonna finish this up. I'm gonna go eat dinner. I'm gonna go record something for my little Spanish class, and then I'm gonna go watch a Richie Grant film session because I'm on the same wavelength with you that he is safety one. And there's really no debate for it. From what I saw, like what you were talking about with, I think that was Brandon, right?
Yeah, from Franklin Football.
Yeah, from Franklin Football. What you were talking about with him about his instincts and kind of get caught in misdirections. I saw it a little bit against Cincinnati because they ran some like fake like motions or fake play actions, and he ran up to play the run and then had to jump his ass back into pass coverage. But overall, he was very solid. He is a very good player. He's rangy. He can hit. He can support the run. He plays well in coverage. There's no reason why Richie Grant should not be a first-round pick in this draft class, and he's not going to be. That's just the way it happens. But he's gonna be a very good player on the next level. And I think a lot of people are going to regret passing on him, which brings me into my next point, because he could be a late first-rounder of the Matthew Stafford trade, which I was not there on Saturday to talk about. But
Okay. Go ahead.
what a stupid trade from the Rams, honestly. I get that you don't value first-round picks, but you're going to dump 2 first-round picks, Jared Goff, and then I think like a third-round pick for a guy that might like be like, I'd say like I feel like he'd kind of be on the same tier as Jared Goff, right? Because like Matthew Stafford's good, don't get me wrong. But Jared Goff is also not a bad quarterback. He got them to the Super Bowl. He got them to the playoffs this year. He won them a playoff game this year. It's the Packers, but they should have won that game in my opinion still because I don't like the Packers. But he has promise. I think Detroit made out like a bandit here. 2 first-round picks, Jared Goff. Okay, just keep it coming for Matthew Stafford, who's going to be maybe on that team and being able to compete at a high level on that team for about 2 years. Mm-hmm. Right? I just don't get it when you could have Jared Goff for 5, 6, 7 more years. It's just keep building the team because the offensive line is not great. Sure. The defense was very good, but you could still add pieces to it. Mm-hmm. The wide receiver core, Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods are cool, but who else do you have? Running back, Cam Akers is cool, but is he really a playmaker like Todd Gurley was? That's just my thoughts on that trade. Sure. But then what it also does is, for those teams like the 49ers who have that like fringe quarterback who's like kind of good, kind of not, we don't really know. Yeah. If I'm the GM down in Houston, I'm dialing up John Lynch and I'm going to ask him for a boatload of picks, Jimmy Garoppolo, and the island of Alcatraz for Deshaun Watson. Because if teams like the Rams are dealing that way, average quarterbacks for first round picks, then you want a very good, or for a little bit of a better quarterback, why not deal away an average quarterback for a great quarterback? And you can go win that division and win the NFC and get back to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
It's just my opinion. Like it's going to differ a lot of stuff in this draft class. Like, what is Carolina going to do? Are they going to go after a big name quarterback? What is San Francisco going to do? Who's going to win the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes? Is that kind of stuff. And then it also brings in the question about validity of the first round pick, which I disagree wholeheartedly with the Rams' philosophy on that.
Sure.
Like Joseph said, you have guys like Lamar Jackson. You have guys like Justin Jefferson, like T.J. Watt, like Ryan Ramczyk, that are making a difference in first-round picks. You have second-round guys who are making huge differences in the league, right? And, I mean, you just didn't do your due diligence on them and didn't draft them. It's kind of how it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just my opinion on it. If you want to comment on that, go ahead. But
nah, man. We on the we on the same page basically. But just for and also I want to get your thoughts on this or whatever. You too old to be a protege now, but I do want your thoughts on this. What do you think adding a quarterback to the top 7 does for the quarterback race in the rest of the like the top 10 or whatnot? Like of course, like the Lions will probably have been a quarterback picking team, but we saw the teams that were interested in Matthew Stafford. They just didn't win the bidding or whatever. So what you think happens in the top 10 or whatever? Because hey, look, if you're a Cowboy fan, listen, this ain't a Cowboy show. But if you're a Cowboy fan listening right now, the 49ers, the Broncos, I think also, and who else? Colts, and it was like Panthers or something. They were all in that Matthew Stafford like sweepstakes or whatever. So if it's a situation where like quarterback doesn't go number 7, and likely it won't, and the quarterback may fall to like 10th overall, like, what I'm saying, like something like that, just something like that, And then like there's a trade back situation. So just tell me how you think this Matthew Stafford thing, this Matthew Stafford Jared Goff trade exchange, how you think that affects the top 10 and the quarterback draft market?
It affects the top 10 greatly. Right now, I see 3 quarterbacks going in the top 5, and then on that latter end, unless team like San Francisco or a New England or a Washington football team or Chicago Bears trade up, I don't think you're going to see a quarterback go until 10, which is where the Cowboys could potentially trade down with one of those teams. And that's actually because I was looking at trades today, because for my next mock draft, I'm like looking at trades and what hypotheticals I can make. I have Carolina moving up to 3 with Miami because I think they need a quarterback and they're going to go jump on it. They were this close to giving away that 8th pick for Matthew Stafford. You know damn well that they will be moving up to try and either get Deshaun Watson or another quarterback. That shows us that they're really not liking Teddy Bridgewater.
Sure.
And I think if they get a guy like Justin Fields, that would be perfect for him. But then you have, I don't think Detroit's going for a quarterback. The Eagles should be going for a quarterback and just trade away Wentz and Hurts, but they're probably not going to. The Broncos are there. It's intriguing for us. But for me, I'd rather bring in a veteran guy that can push Locke a little bit because of how inconsistent he is. I want to see him for another year. And that may be stupid on my part. In hindsight, we may have wanted a guy like Trey Lance who's sitting there at 9 or Mac Jones who's sitting there at 9. But I'd rather bring in a veteran influence, and if Drew Locke's not getting it done, put that guy in. A guy like Ryan Fitzpatrick, I would love to see the Broncos pick up, even though he's 38 years old. Either way, you're not really going to see a lot of quarterbacks coming off the board after that run on Fields, Wilson, and Lawrence until 15. And at that point, if there's a team like Chicago or Indianapolis or Washington who's wanting to call somebody, Dallas would be the first call I'd make because they want to trade. It seems like they could get much more value with JOK, J.C. Horns up there. Like they could get a ton of value out of a defensive player that you could draft in like
Richie Grant.
Exactly.
I'm listening. I'm sorry.
And like at this point, I have Chicago trading up with Dallas for the 10th pick, and in exchange, Dallas gets 20, a 3rd-round pick, and a 2nd-round pick. That's beautiful.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever year it is, that's great. It's a great trade, and that gives Dallas more bricks, like you say. Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting. It definitely pushes those quarterbacks down to your your range where you guys can trade back, or potentially our range where we could trade back as Denver fan. But we'll get into it, especially as the Deshaun Watson rumors settle down, the Sam Darnold and the Carson Wentz rumors begin to settle down as well.
Yeah. We'll definitely cross that road, man. Get off my phone, go eat, and go speak Spanish. And I'll holler at you. Do you need some help with your homework? I'm not the police. I'm not too old to be your friend Nick Gasser. Come on, man.
I'm good, man, but
I'm bullshit.
Spanish is tough. I'll tell you that, especially when the teacher is a little bit of a nuthead, but it's cool.
Get your young ass off my phone, man. All right, appreciate it.
Peace out.
Actually, I have something in my YouTube community section that I thought was very, very funny to me. And I want to ask the chat box this. Let me see. I gotta go to window capture. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta get a new setup. I'm a put my monitor on the wall so it's over my camera, and then just have the camera at, you know what I'm saying, eye level with me. We're gonna work on that. But let's see. I'm gonna go there. There. All right, cool. Cool. This is what I posted on the Yamin, like yesterday or like today. I don't know when I posted this. I can look at the date. I tweeted this. I don't know. Maybe yesterday. It probably looks like something I said yesterday. I tweeted this, right? And just quickly, I'm going to leave this up here for like 3 seconds. Chat box, tell me what y'all see when y'all read this. Give me 5 seconds. Y'all read that, and in the chat, tell me what you think I meant when I said that. Tell me what you think I meant. Just tell me what you thought. You want to go under the table? You want to go under the table? You'll be making noise. You'll be making noise, I know. I ain't want to leave y'all, but Boo Thing woke up. Let me move this out the way so y'all can see. He about to Boo Thing. I thought she was a girl, and they said she was a boy, and I was like, she not a boy, she a girl. And then they dumbass came back outside and said that she was a girl. All right, she was in the room hollering. All right, here we go. What was I saying? Okay, cool. Let me know what y'all thought I meant when I said Richie Grant might be my CeeDee Lamb this year. Let me know what y'all think I said. And then we're gonna scroll down these comments and see what these people actually thought I said. I mean, just say he gonna fall. Dave Chappelle, y'all not making sense. Cowboys better draft him at 10. That doesn't make sense. Dave with Netflix money. Hide your money. There's poor people around, y'all. That's a great line. But why who's and that's my thing. Like, dog, I simply said Richie Grant might be my CeeDee Lamb this year, meaning he might just be my favorite player this year. Right? Just my favorite player. I started going down the comments. Hold on, let me move this out the way. I started going down the comments. People talking about some. Hold on, let's see. Definitely not in the first. Who said anything about first? I'm not taking him that early. I didn't say where I was gonna take him. Mike Jones came and said, for real. Like, for real what? What? Like, since I saw him about four weeks ago, I want him in a second. Cool, I like that. That's nuts, bro. That's nuts, bro. Back against my high school, da-da-da-da-da. Like, what? Like, what? Like, what? Like, I said nothing about drafting this man in no first round. I said nothing about drafting this man 10th overall. This man says that the gift doesn't translate. Well, this is when Dave Chappelle got Oprah pregnant and he got rich. He got rich. Your meme doesn't translate. Like, I even saw like hold on, like there was something like somebody like the FBI, somebody named their profile, picked the FBI, and they was like, nah, we can't have this. And I was like, dog, like, y'all love to overreact here. Y'all love to overreact here. I simply just want this man on my team. Y'all made this about drafting somebody in a certain place in particular. There it is, the FBI, right there. Wait a minute. I know this ain't the FBI for real, but this just made me laugh. Does that mean you take them at 10? No, FBI, hell no. Like, come on. I just really like Richie Grant, and I just want the man on my team. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? He's my guy. He's my guy. Talking about my gift don't translate. What the hell wrong with y'all? My gifts always translate. I'm Voch, sir. I want that dude on my team badly, man. Like, what I meant by my CeeDee Lamb this year, CeeDee Lamb was my favorite player last year, and I over-obsessed over CeeDee Lamb play. I over-obsessed. I watched 17 games of CeeDee Lamb, and I was like, dog, I gotta have that dude. That's how I feel about not Ardarius. Ardarius would be cool to have, but that's how I feel about Richie. I gotta have Richie. Let me go back to the phones, man. Let's go back to the phone and see what we're talking about. Enrique up next, Tiffany on deck, Justice in the hole. Let's boogie. Enrique, what's happening?
What's up, man?
Cool.
I don't know if you remember me. I was the one that almost got hanged by the chat box last week.
I do remember you because you platinum, sir. I remember all of my platinum callers, but say nice things this time.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I didn't hear film session yet because I wanted to jump on the live, but I watched him this morning actually because I saw that he's a thumper.
Yes.
That's what I really loved about him. But I would say I love him, but only like late second, early third.
So let me run this by you, sir. Let me run this by you. How valuable do you consider a safety that can play one high? How valuable is that to you?
See, what I saw from him, I loved him as a strong safety because when I saw him,
you bugging, sir. I'm listening. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You go ahead.
When I was watching him, dude's an amazing tackler. That's what I loved about him. When I saw him in the box, my guy was just bringing people down. And when I saw him at free safety, I saw him make plays, but where I saw him stand out the most is like him being close to the line.
I want you to watch my film session, and I want you to. Matter of fact, what you doing right now? You busy right now?
No, not at the moment. I'll watch it right after.
Enrique, check this out. It's 7:44. The film session is 17 minutes with like 6 minutes of dialogue. Skip the dialogue. I want you to watch the first 10 minutes of the film session. Ain't nothing gonna happen in the live stream. I'm just gonna take some calls. You ain't gonna miss nothing, I promise. I want you to go watch my film session and call back at 7:55. Well, 7:57 or so. Call back and tell me, do you think the same thing about Richie Grant? Go do it right now. Will you do that for me?
I'll do that right now.
You're part of the show, Enrique. Don't let me down. I want you to leave this right now. Go watch my film session. Call back in. I'm going to go straight to you. You ain't got to wait. As soon as I see you call, I'm going to get you in and tell me what you think about Richie Grant now. Go ahead, Enrique. Appreciate you, man.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I love to do shit like this. But, dog, this my thing. And I think that's what makes Richie Grant so great. Let me use this as a lesson to like further expand on Richie Grant. If you could look at a free safety and be like, damn, I like box safety play from you, that's truly a great safety. If you watch my film session, apparently nobody watched it. Apparently, let me go to hit my butt. Apparently nobody watched my film session. Apparently nobody watched it. Allegedly. What I was saying was that, normally you get a lot of safeties that only do one thing. They're a rangy guy, but they don't tackle well, or they tackle okay. They tackle pretty good, but they're not coverage guys. You can put together a Richie Grant compilation of him doing both those things, and he can man cover. Let's go to Tiffany, then Justice, then Antonio. Now, I want to let everybody know, at any point when Enrique calls back, I will pause you, but I'm not going to hang up on you. Just hang tight. Tiffany, go ahead.
Am I mute? Am I?
No, we hear you right now. You come on now. We listening. We listening, Tiff. Tiff done put her cell phone on me. I ain't know you could do that. I ain't know you could do that. Tiffany, unmute yourself so we can hear you, please. I beg of you. Go on one time.
Oh, I thought I was already unmuted. Look what I did.
We talking to you.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you well, loud and clear.
All right, there we go. That's better.
There you go.
I was going to say, I was going to say a few things. I'll start off by saying that the Rams just gave away the bank. They backed up the Brink truck.
100%. Absolutely.
Just to avoid, just to scapegoat Goff firstly, to avoid just saying what needs to be said, the organization is ran like crap. And maybe they need a new head coach. I mean, that's
possibly.
But whatever. Possibly. Get rid of Goff, bring in Stafford. Goff, Detroit, they got all these picks. In a couple years, Goff is who they got? Rodgers to worry about?
Right.
So you got Rodgers to worry about, who might be disgruntled. He might be checking out soon. The Lions are playing chess.
Yeah.
Like, if Goff goes to the playoff with the Lions, with all the picks the Rams gave him, and then the Rams probably aren't going to make it to the playoffs, or maybe they will for a year or two, maybe, then it's going to come back to this deal. Sure. It's like, what were y'all thinking?
Sure.
Why did y'all do this? This makes no sense.
Sure.
And, they cut out a lot of dead weight in their front office. They got a new coach. The Lions are ready. They smell blood in the water.
Sure.
And they said, we're going for it. And I think they're taking Goff with it.
Well, this isn't going to be like like a this year thing or next year thing, but I do think the Lions put themselves in good, in a good standing to do something in about 5 or so years. My plan, because I'm like evil as shit, I take that 7th overall pick and I trade out of that pick, and I think quarterback goes 7 anyway, so I can acquire more bricks. Go ahead.
I think they trade out of that pick too, definitely. Because why not? Like, what's the purpose of not trading out? Like, obviously, Green Bay's going to do what they do for at least another year or two, at least.
Yeah.
So there's no need for them to try and get too crazy right now.
Yeah.
But I had a question for you, though. What do you think that this ridiculous trade does for Deshaun's value? How much harder do you think it is for him to get moved? Well, with what they gave away for Dango and Goff.
Well, see, the thing that makes this weird is that the salary cap is finite. But that's just kind of how it works, right? It's finite, but it's driven up in that way. Like, hey man, you gotta pay quarterbacks. It is what it is. Trade market is infinite. You can trade whatever you want. The problem is that I can still say no to your trade. So you can look at Deshaun Watson and be like, well, if Matthew Stafford got this, Deshaun Watson's got to have more, so we want 5 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson. The problem is nobody's going to give you 5 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson. That's where the thing is weird. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was thinking more along the lines of, do you think it makes it harder for them to move? Because obviously they're going to want more. They're going to want just a little bit more than what they got for Stafford, just ego and whatnot, front office and ego.
Well, see, this.
But I don't think they're gonna be able to get it. I don't think they're gonna be able to get it.
This is my angle on it. I think what they got for Stafford is what should be gotten for Deshaun. I think the Rams I think they overpaid for Stafford. You know what I'm saying? They overpaid for him. So if that deal would have gone to whoever to get Deshaun, that'll make sense. I just don't think that this thing should go up. So one or two things are going to happen. Either Deshaun is, or either the Texans are going to get a similar package that they got for Matthew Stafford, or Deshaun's just going to be a Texan next year.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But that's all I got. I don't even care about the Lions, so I just thought this was ridiculous.
Indeed. Appreciate it, Tiffany.
Have a good day.
Yeah, 100%. It is a bit weird, man. It is a bit strange, but it seems like it was this play, like this. Hey, we're the Rams. We got this market and this team that we're marketing, and we got this stadium. We need a face that ain't Jared Goff or whatever. We gonna be ballsy and we gonna make a move. And I'm like, I hate the move. I hate the move. First tape I watched of him, they kept him in the box. I thought he looked good for a box safety. The fact that he's actually a good free with box skills absolutely puts the nipple on the titty. 100%, Kyle, you're 100% right. I love your verbiage there. Let me just hit you one time. Let me just hit you one time with the one time, sir. Your vocabulary was immaculate there. Casa de Finch had an interesting point earlier. He was saying, I forgot to go back to it, but I remember it kind of sort of quasi. He was like, Voch, Jared Goff has some along these lines. He was like, Voch, Jared Goff has been terrible since he had Todd Gurley. Fine. So what does that mean for your formula, though? When he has Todd Gurley, you get to go to a Super Bowl, right? So if we're judging Jared Goff in a, like, we're just going to rank how good he is compared to the other quarterbacks, then sure, you can make that point and say he's only good with Todd Gurley. But if Jared Goff is terrible without Todd Gurley, but he's a Super Bowl contender with Todd Gurley, chat box, what does that mean you need to do? Yes. So you probably won't get Todd Gurley, but instead of sending that package to go get like Matthew Stafford or something, you know what I would do? I'd send a first rounder to go get Saquon Barkley or something. I mean, I don't know. Or you can make it a 1-2 punch. You can have Cam Akers and Travis Etienne. You could do it, you know, however you think to, you know, put it together or whatever. But I don't know, man. Moving on from Goff wasn't the thing. Now, if you're a Rams fan and you're mad that Jared Goff got paid in the first place, I agree. That's another argument. But that trade a bit wild, dog. Let's get into the phones, man. 2-1. My bad. Justice. We got Justice. Then Antonio's after him. What's up, Justice?
What up, Voch? I wanted to get in like to three things with you. Sure. First off, like I did watch your Richie Grant.
Oh shit! Wait a minute. Wait. You said you have watched it?
No, I have watched it, but I haven't watched it myself.
I'm sorry, sir. You was talking. I'm sorry, sir. You were talking while the war chant was going. I didn't know what you said after. Yes, I watched it. But go. I'm listening now, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have watched your Richie Grant video.
Yes, sir.
So you kind of spoiled them for me. Thank you very much.
Okay.
With Richie Grant, I have no, like, again, I haven't watched him, so I can't really give you any kind of
sure,
any kind of comment on him, really.
Sure.
But I want to go into the thing that you said about the TCU boys. Like, to be fair to those TCU boys, like, TCU don't play a lot of cover 3. TCU played a lot of 2-split safety looks, a lot of cover 4. They're not asked to do what Richie is asked to do.
Sure.
So,
sure.
And to the and that little slide comment you made about my boy Bowring that he can't, like, his tackling. Like, yeah.
Wait, time out. Justice, don't move. Justice, don't go nowhere. I'm not even gonna hang up on you. Like, I can still hear you. Don't go nowhere. Enrique, what's happening? Enrique, what's up? What you got? Enrique?
What's up, man?
What you got?
I love what I saw. So the very first play you had reviewed,
I
had seen it on the same film session I was watching.
Okay.
And it looked like he didn't cover as much ground as he did in the camera view I saw.
Shit. Look, he covered that bit down. Come on down. Talk to me, Enrique. Go ahead.
He reminds me like Tyrann Mathieu with his instincts. And he's pretty solid. I love him to pair him up with Donovan.
Come on!
Definitely.
Come on! What else? Enrique? What else?
I will say I would like to see. I saw him drop 2 interceptions he had in the films I had seen.
That's fine.
But at least his instincts get him in position to do so.
It gets him there. So, right. Right.
It's better than not getting any interceptions from Xavier Woods. So any upgrade over Xavier Woods, I think.
So he is a free safety, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
I'm doing God's work, man. All right, Enrique, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in. Salute.
I actually have one thing to tell you.
Shit. Go ahead, Enrique. I was about to hang up on you. Go ahead.
So there was one guy I wanted you to take a look at. He's like a very developmental guy.
Okay.
In the later rounds.
Okay.
That we can pick up for the right tackle. But he's a freak of nature.
Who?
He is 6'8", 6'9", with 34-inch arm length, and he actually did solid in the Senior Bowl.
Does he have a
his
name?
name is Spencer Brown.
Who?
Spencer Brown.
What school?
Trent Brown?
I don't even know. It's just a Brown Panther. He's so unknown because he's from nowhere. But in the Senior Bowl, he killed it.
Well, it sounds like he ain't that good. Shit. All right, Enrique. Appreciate it, man.
Well, okay.
I'm sorry, Justin. I didn't mean to cut into your time like that, man, but I just had to get confirmation that Richie Grant was a free. My bad. Go ahead, sir.
To be honest, I was waiting on that. But, yeah. The TCU boys ain't really asked to do a thing that Richie is asked to do.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I like both of them though. I like Ardarius a little more than Morick. I like them both, and I like them relatively close to Richie. It's just that if you can look at Richie and be like, oh yeah, that dude play free, and then another dude look at another game and be like, yo, that dude is a good strong safety. I think that's a different kind of dude. And what makes me think about it is Darnell Savage. When I was watching him, Little Missile, I was like, yo, man, like I know safeties don't get taken high, and Darnell's like not that tall, but he got range and he can hit people. And I don't think he's gonna make it to the late second. And that dude was gone late first. So I just don't want to miss out on the one safety. Like in the last 5 years, there have been 3 true deep safety guys. And one of them can't even stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? I think if you got a chance to get that dude, just get that dude.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if there's been 3. I think there's been a lot of dudes.
Like who, sir? Like who, sir?
Juan Thornhill.
Juan Thornhill's not that kind of guy because he's a rotational guy right now. Go ahead.
Because he blew out his knee.
No, sir. Even as a healthy man, he was a rotational guy, sir. And I don't consider Juan Thornhill to be like super rangy dude. I just consider him to be like good cover guy. But like he ain't super rangy dude. Like super rangy dude. Like I'm thinking Delpit, Winfield, Derwin. Derwin can't stay healthy.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, then how about Jesse Bates a couple of years back?
That was like 4 or 5 years ago. That's like 2016, I think. I like Jesse Bates.
Yeah.
But look, watch this though. Even if we talking about that though, that's 4 people in 5 years. You see what I'm saying? If I had to name a good pass rush in the last 5 years, I can name 10 people, 12 people, 13, 15 people. You mean to tell me it's 4 free safeties I really like in the past 5 years? And Jesse Bates ain't even elite. He cool. Shit, man. I'm just saying, man. I just want to go get Richard Grant and just move on my life. Andre Cisco not good, Matthew. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Justin.
And you ain't wrong. Like trust me. The free safety position, the true free safety position that like Earl Thomas and like and Tyrann Mathieu when he was back with the Cardinals, like made famous, is probably one of the more important positions in the secondary that no one talks about.
Yeah.
So, like, if you believe that Richie Grant, if you believe that Richie Grant is that true free safety, that dude that I'm just going to stick back there and he ain't going to go nowhere, then you pick him. It was the same thing I was telling people when people wanted to say Grant Delpit is not a first round safety because he can't tackle. Like, bro, I don't really care about that. He can play deep. Like Antonio Winfield is a first round safety because he can play deep, bro. Like not because of his tackle.
So why is Richie Grant not a first round safety? Because he can play deep and he can tackle.
He's a first round safety.
Okay, cool.
That's not a.
Okay, cool. Okay.
That's not.
Guys, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's not a factor. Like,
okay. You're right.
Like he's a first round safety. Do all that.
Right. I agree.
To this Matthew Stafford thing, like, bro, I just feel like I kind of feel like people are disrespecting the Rams a little bit. Like, give the Rams a little bit of credit here. They've made the playoffs 3 out of every 4 years. Like,
the conference has been locked.
I'm gonna try to put my head in. I'm gonna try to put myself in their position. They probably felt that they roster or the core that they had built when they originally went to that Super Bowl of Jared Goff, Todd Gurley, Aaron Donald had gotten stale, and they wanted to move on.
The conference has been unlocked.
Power move to get.
The conference has been locked.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Justice, go ahead, man. I'm sorry, man. I pressed the button on accident, then I hit a button on the keyboard, and it did it twice. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
From where?
Just say the last few words you were saying. You was talking. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. The Rams. Like, I just felt like people were disrespecting the Rams a little bit because, like, they made a power move.
Right.
Like I don't necessarily. I don't know if it was a good or bad trade, but from my perspective on how they usually build their team, it's worked over the past 3 or 4 years. So you do it works for them. They go after aggressive players through trade.
Sure. And I feel that. I just think that when you trade, you just lose a lot of value. You lose you lose options. You lose that money. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a lot that you lose, and especially when look, because they traded 2 firsts for Ramsey too, right?
Yes, they did.
You can fam, if you say Voch, draft me 4 first-round players better than Jalen Ramsey and Matthew Stafford, I got you. Give me a minute, I got you, and they'll be all in the 20s. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but it's so with them. That Ramsey trade probably ended up being as best as it could for them because they ended up having the best defense in the league. Now, of course, they lost the dude who coordinated that defense in Bruce Staley, but they also gained somebody from my team named Raheem Morris, who took our very bad defense, a below-average defense for the past 4 years, and made it top 10 in the league, according to DVOA. It's not that Ramsey trade probably isn't going to come back and bite them, from for a while now. Now, the fact that they keep paying these people, will they eventually lose? Will they eventually burn their candle out? Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably. But it's all to win the chip. If they win the chip and they say it's Bill basically put this into Bill Belichick basically put this into perspective for me this year. He said, I went after every. I think when he lost Tom Brady, he said, I went after every year. I went after a championship, and out of 10 out of 10 years, I got 4 or 6. I got 4 or 6 of them. So
that's just easy to say when you got Tom Brady, though. That's just real easy to say. Hey, yo, Justice, great call, man. Great call. I got some more callers, bro. Appreciate you, dog. Hey, that's super easy to say when you got Tom Brady. You just got to fix a handful of pieces around him. Nah. I ain't fooling with that Belichick. Tonio, don't go nowhere. I know what your call gonna be like. SEAL team, Eddie Clemens. What's up, guy? What's up, my guy?
Hey, what's up, bro?
Been a minute.
What's up, bro? Hey, with that Richie Grant thing, I got my vaccine today. I was knocked out. Came in at the last 5 minutes of it, man. So I might have missed it, but I'm definitely gonna watch it tonight, man.
My guy, appreciate you. What you got? Hey, man, let me ask you a question. Do you want the Panthers to sell their soul for Deshaun Watson, or do you want to just draft a guy at 8 or something, or do you want to build a team first? What you want to do?
So, being the person I am, I want to build a team, but I feel a lot of Panthers fans are definitely in the situation of they want to see improvement on the roster, but they want to see improvement in wins, but they don't want to sell their soul for a quarterback to get the wins. And, it's a lot to put on a rookie quarterback to come in and expect them to do well and get more wins, because people already Matt Rule is getting paid all this money, and Teddy Bridgewater isn't producing. So it's because you saw they try to give, I think, number 8 and let's say a 4th-round pick for Matt Stafford, and I was Panthers fans want more wins, but how can they get more wins with Teddy as a quarterback?
Sure.
And not sell their soul. So it was between a rock and a hard place. So I just think Panthers fans build through the draft.
Panthers fans need to understand that it's not y'all's job to try to win a Super Bowl this year. Build whether you get the wins or not, you should be worried about building the capital first. You know what I mean? Because y'all not a quarterback away. So in my mind, if you give up resource to get to get Deshaun Watson, then you'll just be bringing him into a team that ain't ready, right?
Right, because you have to give up. The way he's talking, he's trying to give up with them 1 or 2 defensive players. He's talking about, he probably wants Burns and Chin. And we're going to be like, nah, we ain't giving those 2 young men up.
Yeah, 100%. What else you got for the show? Go ahead.
I was calling because I've been having a back and forth with someone in the Panthers community about people who think Slater's tackle 1 compared to Sewell. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted you to speak on both sides of it because I can't really I can't what's the word to use? I can't elaborate as well as you can.
Well, what you have to ask yourself in this draft in particular with multiple scenarios, but we're talking about tackle 1 and 2 now. Are you floor guy or are you ceiling guy? Voch is, I like both, but I prefer ceiling. I'm just not a big fan of shooting dice in the bathroom. So when I watch Penei Sewell, let's just consider that we're keeping them both at tackle. We're not talking about moving guys around the guard or anything like that. We're just talking about tackle. Penei Sewell is incredible physically. As a physical specimen of an offensive lineman, he's one of the most incredible guys that we've seen in a long, long time. But there's plenty that goes into offensive line. There's even more that goes into left tackle in the National Football League. You need some polish. You need some feet. You need some hands. Not just having like quick feet, because he has quick feet, but you got to know where to put those quick feet. He has strong hands, but you got to know where to put them. You got to know when to grip them. You got to know when to punch. Like you can just punch a shot at somebody, but if you miss, then it's just that fraction of a second that can turn you into the aggressor to I just got whooped by this technician because I was a second late with my hands. Guys like La'el Collins for the Cowboys or whatever, he had to play guard for a year before he moved to tackle just to work on his feet. Then when he got to tackle, he was bad because he kept missing with his hands. I did Cowboy film sessions on sack breakdowns. He gave up like 9 sacks one year because he kept missing with his hands. La'el Collins, strong as hell. La'el Collins got highlight tapes of being quicker and faster than someone. But if all the tools don't come together at the same time, it means nothing. I'm not saying Penei Sewell can't do that. I'm saying he can. I'm just saying he's not right now and that there's a chance that he won't. Rashawn Slater today is the better tackle, in my opinion, because he has all of those things. If you look at a Penei Sewell scouting report, it's going to say, I'm big as hell, I'm fast as hell, I'm strong as hell, but I need to work on the technical side. If you read Rashawn Slater's, it's going to say, I whooped Chase Young. What better assessment of a scouting report do you need besides I whooped Chase Young, right? And somebody say, well, Voch, can you give me like more than I just whooped Chase Young? First of all, you don't need more than I whooped Chase Young. But if you need more, all those things I said about Penei Sewell, I got strong, I'm strong, I'm fast, I'm big. But also add, I got great polish. I got great feet. I got great hands. I got great hand placement. I got great timing. And I use that collective of tools to whoop Chase Young for 4 quarters. Now, Penei Sewell has those things, but he doesn't have them as good as me. And he may not have them on a pro level right now, but he can evolve into a guy that can have those things. I just know for sure, not only Rashawn Slater has those things, but he's better than Penei Sewell right now. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
We have no clue. Watch this. We have no clue if Penei Sewell can be. If we have no clue if Penei Sewell can reach his highest potential. Rashawn's floor is starting offensive line right. Is starting left tackle right now. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just thankful that you were able to come and let me hear this explanation. And thank you for that. And I'll definitely get back to watching these other videos that you got. Everyone make sure y'all follow my dude on a Patreon. It only costs a bag of Skittles.
Hey, let me ask you this, though, Eddie. Which side of that argument were you on, though, sir?
I was on the Slater side. I was the Slater is right now the better prospect. And I was like, he's better with his hands and stuff. And then, dude came out talking about, maybe you need to get better at watching film. And it led down that path.
Hey, yo, Eddie, send him to me. Send him to me. That sounds fun. Send them to me, sir. Trust your eyes, man. You have been in my conglomerate for a long time. You've been in my community for a while. I trust your eyes. I'm sure that you do also. You ain't saying nothing wrong, sir. You ain't saying nothing wrong.
Hey, thank you, man. Hey, you get back to these calls, and I'll keep listening, man.
Appreciate it. Shaq Edwards in the chat box. He's a Vikings fan. Shouts out to him for tuning in. He said he asked who has the bigger ceiling. Well, Sewell. Sewell has the bigger ceiling because Sewell is physically impressive right now. So Slater can't get any more physically impressive. Slater can eat the National Football League peanut butter where he may get into his man body and stronger, but Sewell's going to eat that too. But like Slater's not going to be quicker than Sewell or quicker feet than Sewell or faster than Sewell. Sewell has the physical traits that you cannot teach better than Slater. Slater has all the nuance that Sewell can learn. So Sewell can be better than Slater one day. It's just that when I saw Sewell have problems with Jay Tafulele, and I saw Sewell have problems with, guys like Bradley and some miscellaneous kid from Stafford I never heard of. Rashawn Slater would never. Rashawn Slater would never. My bad. Let's get back into the regular offense. Antonio up next. Rich from New York on deck. 954 is the area code there. Pardon me, no. Andrew from Dallas is in the hole. Then 954 is after them. My bad. 954 is fourth. Okay, cool. Tonio, you're up first, sir. What's happening?
Oh, much.
Coolin'.
What's up, Voch? I actually want to offer my opinion on the whole Matthew Stafford to the Rams situation.
Let's do it.
Especially because I'm a Lions fan.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my thing about those situations. First of all, I understand what you're saying about, because even though I understand the Rams throwing those picks for Stafford, and I understand I'm throwing those picks for Ramsey, while I do kind of support it, I don't like the mindset of them just throwing away first-round picks like they're nothing, though. I'm not cool with that mindset. And the only way I really understand it in their situation is I think they're a team where they're kind of in a position like, we are trying to win as quickly as possible because we don't know how much longer this is going to be working. So, because I think specifically on the Stafford situation, I think Stafford is a way better quarterback than Goff. Like Goff is kind of in that Jimmy Garoppolo tier for me. Quarterbacks that if you put the pieces around them, they could be great.
Yeah.
But if you don't, you put the pieces around them, they could be great. But they still might not even win you a Super Bowl when they're great. We saw it when the 49ers played the Chiefs, and we saw it when the Rams played the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
When they came to the point where they had to rely on those guys,
sure,
they folded.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my thing. I'm like, if you could put the right pieces around them,
mm-hmm,
and you still might not win it.
Right.
But Stafford, you get a significantly higher ceiling because he's a way better quarterback. Because Stafford, at his best, can be elite. The problem is he's not consistently elite. He was elite last year, but he only played 8 games. He was elite in December this year, but that was only 4 games. So you got to be, and I think the Rams are one of the few teams who are in a position because they have the O-line, they have the wide receivers, and they have one of the best offensive-minded head coaches in the league to the point where they might be able to unlock a consistently elite Stafford, which would make them a Super Bowl contender. But if they can't do that, then then the trade is a flop for them. So that's kind of where I am at that for the Rams' perspective, because I don't think any of those picks were going to get them to being a Super Bowl contender. Because I think at this point with Jared Goff, I think they've realized that he's just not the guy who's going to win us a Super Bowl. I think after that Patriots,
Matthew Stafford ain't never won a Super Bowl neither. He never won a playoff game.
I don't think Stafford really, other than 2014, I don't think Stafford's really had a team around him to win a Super Bowl.
Matthew Stafford had a top 5 defense in Megatron, led by Indomitian Sue in his prime.
That's what I said. In 2014, I think was probably the only year he could have really.
Look, hey man, look, hey yo, Tom, look that team was better than this Rams team he about to get on. Hold on, dog. Let me go look that team up, dog. Hold on, I'm listening to you. Go ahead. I'm listening.
That team was nice, but I think Stafford's a way better quarterback now. Not another thing you got to worry about. You got to worry about the injuries. Having back problems for what, 2-3 years now. He had back-to-back surgeries on it. I think the Rams really pushed all their cards to the table in this move. I think this is a team you kind of have to win a Super Bowl at this point, because if you don't, you basically mortgaged your future. You already gave up 2 firsts for Ramsey.
Yes.
You just gave up 2 firsts and a third for Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
Your whole future, you kind of just mortgaged it away. You took the hit from Goff's contract. Stafford only got like 2 years on his deal. But yeah, I think the Rams really pushed all the cards to the table. From the Lions' perspective, I think it's actually a pretty good trade. There's a lot of Lions fans who are not a fan of this trade because in their mind they say, well, we basically just got 2. They said we basically got 2 seconds and a third for Stafford, which was really the best offer because the only other offers that was even comparable was the Panthers offering the number 8 overall pick.
So listen, real fast. Time out. Matthew Stafford, right? Cool. Reggie Bush, Joique Bell, Theo Riddick, who's surprisingly like the trio of running backs that he has right now. Brandon Pettigrew, who's kind of like the tight end that they got right now. O-line evens out. Calvin Johnson, Golden Tate in his prime. Goodness. I don't even remember Jeremy Ross. I ain't going to act like it. Nick Fairley and Ndamukong Suh and Ziggy Ansah. C.J. Mosley? C.J. Mosley was on this team? Darius Slay and Glover Quinn and Rashawn Mathis was on this team. DeAndre Levy was on this team. This team better than that Rams team you on right now. This team right here.
Yeah, because I tuned into that playoff game against the Cowboys late, and man, that was a disappointing loss. I think Stafford's significantly better quarterback since then.
Yeah.
Like the past 2 years, I think he's probably been the best he's ever been. But like I said, he'll have like an amazing game. Like perfect example, last year against the Chiefs, went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes, looked amazing. This year with Aaron Rodgers, went toe-to-toe with Rodgers, he looked amazing. But then they played the Colts, and he didn't look that great. So that's the thing. I said, like, if you can get Stafford to be constantly elite, and I think the Rams are the team, I think they're in a position to do it. And I think they have to do that for this trade to really work out for them. Because if you can't get Stafford to be consistently elite, then it's basically a flop because you're not going to be a Super Bowl contender. So I think Stafford elevates their ceiling. I think he elevates their floor. Mm-hmm. But I think the Rams really have to – they got to unlock Stafford, basically. They got to unlock the Stafford that we wanted to see since he was drafted, because he's been the guy who can be a guy who can elevate your team and get all these make crazy comebacks, but he's just not consistently that guy, in my opinion.
Somebody in the chat box says, but he never had a coach like Sean McVay. I mean, that's cool, but Sean McVay got to the Super Bowl and couldn't do a thing with Belichick. So is Sean McVay the problem? If we got a little better at head coach, will we win the Super Bowl with Jared Goff then? Like, is that what this is? I don't know, Tony. It's a very, very slippery situation. I would love to see how this all plays out. Next year, man. We're gonna definitely keep some tabs on it, though. Appreciate it, my guy.
Wait, I got you one more thing.
Okay, go ahead. Quickly, though.
Voch,
yes, sir.
I need you to help me. I've been trying to tell Lions fans.
Okay.
They want to pick Parsons at 7.
Okay.
And some of them want to pick Greg Russo at 7.
What the fuck wrong with Lions fans? They ain't got a YouTuber like Voch to come tell them not to do that?
Every time they say Greg Russo at 7, that's the only thing I can say is like no. Please no. Like no.
Okay, so look, do you ask them what film did you watch that made you think you could take Greg Russo at 7?
Oh yeah. They said his scouting report looked pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a Lions YouTuber, King something. something King. I don't know. Forgot his name. He should be teaching y'all better than that, man. he should be getting on to y'all about that. Russo at 7 is egregious. I don't know, man. I can't call it. The best I can tell you is I have videos on Russo and Micah Parsons, and both of them aren't very glowing. So you can send those links around to your Lions friends, and hopefully that'll help you out, player.
I've been telling them, like, just watch his film on him, because all I hear about him is, oh, but Mike is so athletic. I'm like, the mental side is not there. They keep him like, Greg is so young.
Everything.
I'm like, listen, I don't care if he's 15 or he's 28. He don't got the skill set or the talent to be there, to be picked at number 7.
I tell you what, Tom, all that sound good, but it ain't my team. Thanks for calling, Doc. Everything King is his name. He's the Lions YouTuber. He rock with Voch. He says some glowing things about Voch. So this is me shouting him out on my channel. Shouts out to Everything King. He's a Lions content creator. Go over there, check him out. I know he ain't teaching y'all no damn Russo at 7. I know he ain't teaching y'all that. Brother Vaughn in the chat box. What's up, Vaughn? Hey, we went from take both those. Let's get them bricks, dog. We can get it too, Brother Vaughn, since the Lions not drafting quarterback no more. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can get them bricks at 10. Believe that. Right brick on my brick is not over. Rich from New York is up next. Andrew from Dallas on deck. 954 is in the hole. What's up, Rich?
What's going on, man? I actually, not to sound like a broken record in this whole thing, but I wanted to talk about the stats, the Rams and the Lions thing from perspective of the salary. Okay. Looking at the Rams, right, people say that they were stupid, they were dumb, like, why did they give away so much? Now, the price on Deshaun's going to be outrageous and egregious, but I think it's really specific and different because they had to cut the salary relief because it would be a ridiculous amount of money Goff would have gotten paid next year. And of course, as you know, the cap's going to go down. So I think Goff is in a position where he's going to be a journeyman. And I think that the Rams knew, like, hey, listen, like, we'll take a $10 million. Like, I think Matt Stafford's getting paid, $22 million?
Yeah.
Something around there, versus Goff's contract. And funny thing, he's the highest paid player on that team, which is crazy, right?
You know what, though? You just kind of made a good point. Made me think about something like the Rams say that they gave up the first-round pick to get rid of Goff's contract. Goff's 35 to Stafford's 20, so they spent the first-round pick to save, what, like $14 million? That's the case?
Yeah, I think to save money, but they knew that they had to sprinkle in like the extra picks because they knew that would be the only way to really push that trade to occur. Because it could look outrageous from the outside looking in, but the Rams are probably thinking, well, shit, now we can have $15 million maybe to spread towards everyone else on the team next year. So I think that the Rams, as bad as it may have looked at first, I think it's not really as bad as people say it is. And then to speak on Detroit, obviously, you got all the picks in the world. Trade back. You have 7, trade back, because now this makes the quarterback market from 1 to 10 much more valuable, where more teams are now going to be like, okay, this isn't really the year where people really need to get players like that. There's quarterbacks there. So I think the Lions should go ahead and call and just pick up all the phone calls that are going their way April 29th, see who has one of the best offers, and then trade back, because the more the merrier, man. It's like it'll be a consistent thing for years to come. But yeah, that's all I had to say. I don't want to keep you holding because I know you got a lot of people.
No, Rich, you made some good points, man. Appreciate you. And salary is a big deal and all this. So, hey, man, appreciate it. Good call. 15 mil next year is like 15% of the cap. Right, but I'm not talking about like the actual saving of it. Like if I asked you to give up a first round pick, but you want to save $15 million, you wouldn't do it, because all you're gonna do is draft somebody that's gonna cost $15 million, and that's just what that is. So you gotta think about all that. Somebody said something that made me want to say something. I feel like I missed it. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Look, somebody was like, Stafford never had good coaches, so I guess that's a way to explain why he had good teams, but they never did nothing in the playoffs. Hey man, listen, man. Jason Garrett got a playoff win or two. You know what I'm saying? Well, he got 2 playoff. Yeah, Jason Garrett got 2 playoff wins. I ain't trying to hear bad coach can't win. Especially when you talented, when you got Megatron in your prime. Oh, please. And look, I don't mind Matthew Stafford, man. I do think Stafford better than Goff. I just think I'm more so caping for scenarios than players, you know? If you ask any fan, what would you rather have? Would you rather have hypothetical world, y'all? Don't try to correct me on this. I'm not here to be corrected. But hypothetical world, would you rather have Pat Mahomes with no Super Bowls or Case Keenum with 2? You know what I'm saying? It ain't about the better players. Eli Manning got 2 Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? I think the situation works best. And I commend the Giants for that. You know what I'm saying? The Giants, when their situation were good, O-line, pass rush, whatever, when that situation were good, they were Super Bowl winners. When they didn't have a situation, they was horrible. Now, was Eli Manning good? No. But with Eli Manning, can you win 2 Super Bowls? Absolutely. Pick. Giants fans ain't worried about us saying Eli Manning trash. They 2-time Super Bowl champions in a decade. I don't know. Maybe it's just my philosophy. I'll win with the worst guy if I can win with him. That's just my thoughts. Andrew from Dallas, what's happening, man? Flacco got a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, Andrew. Go ahead.
Hey, it's all good, Voch. What's up, man? I just wanted to call in. I just want to know how this whole Rams-Lions thing shakes up the draft as far as I feel like now the Slater at 10 situation is really, that's hopping up and the chance of happening. And honestly, would you prefer that over getting a corner that may not be, you're that lockdown, your best receiver guy, or would you still go for Slater?
I'm 100% getting the best player, and if the best player is offensive lineman at the time, then I will do it. Now, don't get me wrong. This doesn't veer away from right brick on my brick. If there's a quarterback on the board and somebody want to come give me some picks to get him, I will gladly trade it in the late teens to get more picks. But if I can't get a pick partner, then I'm just gonna take Slater. He's the best player on the board at the time. If he's there, I'm just gonna take him and just move on my life. I would be, because look, also too. Here's some more real shit. I don't think cornerback is a super emergency. I think the Cowboys can cover pretty decent. Cowboys can't stop the run. You know what I'm saying? So I would have rather, if I get an offensive lineman first and I spend the next 3 or so picks fixing my run defense, I'm fine with that. I don't have to get a corner. I can get a corner in the 5th. If I can get Rashawn Slater, Richie Grant, I don't know, give me a linebacker or something like Tyler Shelvin at 4th. I ain't got to take a corner. I'll live with Anthony Brown and Diggs on the outside. And I know somebody in the chat box is going to say, yeah, but Anthony Brown's horrible. But you know what's worse than Anthony Brown? Your run defense. Your run defense is a lot worse than Anthony Brown. Plus, if you're a little better at 1 tech, you'll be better at 3. If you had a good 1 and 3, your ends will get more. They'll be better in the run. If your D line stops to run and your linebacker stops to run, you get to make the other team pass the ball. They pass the ball, you can finally use Randy Gregory and D Law. In my mind, it trickles down from 1 tech, not corner. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I agree. Honestly, I'm more excited about the thought of getting JOK at 10 than I am about getting J.C. Horn. And
I'm more excited about taking JOK than a guy like Parsons or Surtain. My bad. Go ahead.
Exactly, but honestly, I don't see anyone wanting to trade up with us because the 2 teams are.
Oh shit. Wait, Andrew, what are you? Hold on, Andrew, to muted himself. Hold on, or maybe I muted Andrew. My bad, Andrew. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. We can hear you now. Go ahead.
You good play? No, man. I'm just saying. I don't know why teams would want to trade up with us when there's 2 teams ahead of us that need a quarterback badly. And honestly, Deshaun Watson is that meme of Eric Andre shooting Hannibal and then acting surprised. Because once he signed that contract, he knew he was staying in Houston for a while, man. Because I don't know about you, but I don't think there's any team that's one quarterback away from being a Super Bowl team. And especially if it's going to cost you multiple firsts and that fat salary hit or that cap hit. I don't know, man. I just don't see why a team would trade up with us. So I think we just got to be cool picking at 10, which I don't mind.
Yeah, Fair enough, my guy. Fair enough. That's all you got?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got, Bosh. Appreciate you having me.
Hey, man, appreciate you. Drew, call in next week. Salute. Just to kind of update y'all on the schedule this week, because it will be a very busy week. I'm doing this show on Tuesday, which is early. I did Yahoo today, and I'm tired as hell. I did Yahoo. I went to the vet. I worked out. I did a Richie Grant video, and I'm streaming. So I'm tired. I just need y'all to understand that. But I'm doing this today because I'm not going to be streaming Thursday, because Thursday I will be on Joe Rod's channel. So on the Cowboys blog channel, I'll be over there Thursday. And, of course, me and Jeff going to be doing we're going to be doing the Scoutcast pod on Wednesday. All right. I don't know how this man got his or this person got their caller ID to say ramen noodles, but I guess we're gonna find out. 954.
Hey, hello, what?
How you get your call ID to say ramen noodles?
Oh man, I don't know, man. You gotta pay some. You gotta pay some really powerful people. But it's your boy Cass, Resident Giants fan, man. I just wanted to call and talk about just a couple of things that everybody kind of touched on a little bit. Not even kind of touched on, a lot of people already talked about.
Time out. Like, did you not know that your shit was named ramen noodles?
No.
Dog.
That's funny to me.
Okay, it ain't there now. You must have took the shit off, but your shit said ramen noodles. I'm listening to you. Go ahead, dog. I hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, but the first thing I want to talk about is all this quarterback stuff. First off, with the Rams, I think the Rams-Lions trade was a great trade. Like, I know a lot of people talking about they gave up too much, but the way the Rams are built right now, the way they have probably the best cornerback tandem in the game right now with Jalen Ramsey and young boy Williams, the pass rush they have with Aaron Donald, and the supplementary pass rush they get from Michael Brockers and Leonard Floyd, their wide receivers, they're not going to be Calvin Johnson like Matthew Stafford had at one point, but Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp. You still get good contributions from Josh Reynolds. And then I don't know how you could say Brandon Pettigrew compared anywhere to the boys Tyler Higbee and the other boy Everett. So I don't know how in any way they compared to Brandon Pettigrew.
They ain't do shit last year. They ain't do shit last year. What they do last year?
They did more than Brandon Pettigrew did most of his career. So I think that's a great trade for the Rams. I think they are automatic Super Bowl contenders.
I had close eyes on both those tight ends last year. They didn't do very much, sir.
Mm-hmm. They had games where they took over. They might not have took over every game, but they had games where they took over.
Listen to what you just said,
so
sir.
I think that was,
listen to what you. But I'm listening. I'm sorry. I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
When did Brandon Pettigrew ever take over in his career?
I'm listening, sir.
The fact that you can have games where your tight end takes over when you have guys like Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp who gonna get 8 to 10 targets a game, but you still have games where your tight end go for 100 yards and giving you 2-3 touchdowns. That means you have weapons that you can use them. It's not high on your totem pole.
Higbee had a good week one, and I think what's the name played okay when Higbee got hurt or something like that. So I just don't consider that Brandon Pettigrew. Like Brandon Pettigrew wasn't game breaking, but neither was Higbee and what's his name. But I'm talking over you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I enjoy the input.
Okay.
So I want to talk about that. Next thing, this whole Deshaun Watson situation.
Sure.
The way I look at it, the team that I think is most likely to get him, unfortunately, as a Giants fan, is the Washington Redskins. I think they're set up in a way to trade for him, to make an interesting trade package, and I think him coming to that team makes them a lot more dangerous in that division, in that conference. I think they already have a pass rush. They have one-star wide receiver. If they trade away a first-round pick, this draft, and they still find a way to keep a second or third, I mean, this draft is deep in wide receivers. They can add another weapon to go with Terry McLaurin and have a really scary duo with McLaurin and whoever they get in the second round, whether it be like a Kadarius Toney or the kid from LSU or the other wide receivers that are available in the draft. There are a lot of guys that can go with in that second round and put together a really dynamic duo when it comes to receiving. Their O-line isn't terrible. It's not the best, but their O-line's pretty good, enough to make Deshaun Watson be able to operate. So I think those two. Then you have to add Ron Rivera as the head coach. I think he's going to make it a lot more attractive for other people, especially if you have Deshaun Watson there and you have Ron Rivera as the head coach. He's going to make it attractive for free agents. And then we know we have a couple big free agent wide receivers too, so they don't even have to bank on drafting one. You can probably sign a guy like a Galladay or a guy like Allen Robinson coming from Chicago, so that they can be flexible in what they do. So that's another thing. Another thing is I want to talk about is Kirk Cousins. I think that the Vikings are going to end up eventually trading Kirk Cousins. I think they're really holding out for a first-round pick. I think the way that the 49ers are going to think about it is that they could probably get rid of that first-round pick they have, get Kirk Cousins, and switch him out for Garoppolo, and they can go farther. So Kirk Cousins might not be a top 5 quarterback in the league, but I think he's still pretty good above average, and he can do a lot for that 49ers team, especially when you have Shanahan calling the plays, and then the run game they have to go with that, along with their offensive line. So I think that's going to be that'd be a really good scenario for Cousins to go to.
I learned,
and that's why I wanted.
I learned a long time ago.
Situation.
I learned a long time
Another thing I
ago.
wanted to touch on. Go ahead.
That football math really doesn't work, and the team that made me understand that was the Eagles. You a Giants fan? Remember when the Eagles did that dream team bullshit? Where they went to go sign a whole bunch of people, and they thought that just because they signed them, they thought they was gonna be good, but the shit didn't work out because football math don't exist. I just think that Matthew Stafford is gonna be the same Matthew Stafford that you get on the Rams. I mean, he's gonna be a big arm guy, a big number getting guy. I just think that when it comes down to the Yan Mean, I think they're gonna be very similar. I think Stafford is better than Goff, though. I will say that, but I just think Stafford being better than Goff doesn't make a team with Stafford better than a team with Goff. I think it's all about formulas. It's all about formulas, and I know how to win with Jared Goff. I have no clue how to win a playoff game with Matthew Stafford.
Well, I think the offense with Matthew Stafford puts up more points. And then when you have that Rams defense, especially when you have that Rams pass rush, when you have that Rams secondary, that's going to be a big difference because the Lions haven't had a lockdown secondary in a while. And their pass rush has been mostly, in the past couple of years, Ezekiel Ansah or Ndamukong Suh, which they were good pass rushers, but they weren't like consistent double-digit guys. You have Aaron Donald who can threaten 20 sacks this season. And you have guys like Willis Ford who can still pitch in 8 to 10. And you have guys like Michael Brockers who can still pitch in 6 to 7 or maybe 8 himself. So the fact that you have that pass rush along with that secondary, all you have to do is put the points on the board. And then when you have Matthew Stafford that can throw that ball just about any part of the field, you have an offensive mind like Mike McVay who can scheme it up as good as anybody else. It's going to be a very interesting team to try to stop because those points are going to go up on the board. And then you got to try to find a way to score in that Rams defense that a lot of people could not this season.
Hey man, hope so. It'll be a lot more interesting if they were good. I take that back because if the Rams end up being bad after all this, then I get to laugh.
Oh no, if they're bad after this, then it's a wrap. The people getting fired.
Because also too, like another thing that happened that I often refer back to is if you a defense, just because you add Jamal Adams don't mean you got better on defense. It's a lot more formulaic shit that got to go on. But hey, man, appreciate the call though. Salute.
All right.
Yeah. Cause I tell you what, boy, if I was a damn Seahawks fan and we sold our soul to get Jamal Adams and he wasn't incredible, I'd be a bit livid. Chat box, y'all have anything to say before I wrap this show up? It's getting late. And my Evie just purring her little light. Y'all listen to my cat purr. She purr louder than any cat I know. Just listen to it. Who you think you are? What, you a lion or something? You a Pokemon or something? What you think you talk to my friends. Talk to my YouTube friends. Oh, you think you a lion? Found out Evie 2 years old today. I learned that at the vet. Chat box, y'all have any questions there? Y'all have any concerns, any remarks? Anything? What you want, God? Or you just moving over? All right, cool. Who's the best quarterback after the first pick? Trevor Lawrence. Thoughts on trading back to 12, getting Slater. Get off my table. Thoughts on trading back to 12, getting Slater there, picking Lance at 18. Nah, that ain't how this gonna work. That ain't how this gonna work. Yo, Ibrahima, please don't spam my chat box, please. Sound like refrigerator about to go out. Hilarious. Voch, do you think the Rams offer was the best option for Detroit, or should they have taken the Panthers option with the 8th overall? How fire would it have been to have 2 picks back to back though? No, I'm tripping. I'm thinking about if the Lions trade with the Panthers. Should they have traded? If they so I think what it comes down to is I think the difference was this year's picks, but more of next year's picks. So the Lions, what they get to do is the Lions get to keep 8, have a first next year and a first after that. So they got 5 first-round picks over the next 3 years or so. To where if you just get like the first this year and some other little change, then you only have a few picks over the next 3 years, you know, or whatever. I just think they went to go get more picks. That's all. Donovan Wilson is better than Jamal Adams. Ooh, he sure played like it, didn't he? He sure played like it, didn't he? He played like it, didn't he? He played like it, didn't he? My cat's so annoying. If you're a defensive player in the first round, okay, go on the floor. How Matthew Stafford hasn't won his division? I think he did one time. No, that was Green Bay that year. I don't think he's won the division. No, I think so. Please say my evaluation on Connor Williams. Connor's fine. He could be upgraded. I think Cowboy fans hate Connor a little bit because it's like a meme to hate Connor Williams, but how do you think Gallimore? This is draft show. We gonna talk some draft here. Who are the top 5 players in the draft? Too soon. All right, y'all. That's how it's looking. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Catch y'all next time. If y'all have not watched my Richie Grant film session, you should. It's up live right now. If you caught the end of it the first time, go back and watch the very beginning of it. The very beginning is very important. So, yes, until then, y'all like the video, subscribe, and, hold it down for the Doski Wilson Peace Whiskey, bro. Till next time, join me and Jeff tomorrow for the Scoutcast. Can I come back? Wait a minute. Let me see if I can come back. My bad. Stream has ended. We back on? Hold on. Let me see if I can come back. Okay, I apologize, y'all. I was about to leave, but I forgot to do one thing. I sincerely apologize. Wait a minute. Dom dropped a deuce in the super chat. Voch, I need film on Odigi Zua. No, you don't. Perez Trucking dropped 5. It says, hey, Voch, it's Enrique from Indiana. I answered your call. I wanted to tell you about a freak of nature, Spencer Brown. He's 6'9". Okay, we talked about that. Sure, I'll look him up. Lamont dropped 5. Appreciate you. Shouts out to the Rams getting finessed the same way they did Washington with RG3. Ooh, I like that one. Hold on, let me hit this button one time. Sean Doty dropped 15. He says, as a Chargers fan, I was wrong about Justin Herbert. I hate to pick after watch his film. What do you think? What do you look for in a prospect that shows you what they can do as opposed to what they were asked to do? Yeah, man. Oregon's coaches didn't do Justin Herbert no favors when he got to the Chargers and the Chargers let him go. Then that's the dude that you get. But when I watched the film in hindsight, you can see that. It just didn't always, add up and make sense when I was watching the first time. Joey Richards dropped 5 in the super chat. Voch, if I put injury concerns aside and went straight off film, how crazy am I to have Jalen Phillips as my edge one? You're not too crazy, and I might agree. Might agree. And Adrian Lindsay dropped a deuce in the super chat. Says RDBs got hurt tackling running backs. Fix the defense. Agreed. All right, now I'm leaving. I had to show love to my super chats. I appreciate y'all for holding me down. Now, peace.